Hello, good morning. We're here in Brooklyn with Samsung's Media Day for the Samsung Galaxy Z series launch. And with me here is Ken Hires, Service Director of Mobile Tech, and I am Wayne Lau, also with the Mobile Tech team. So we're here to talk about Fold.
That's right.
So what do you think of the new products, Ken?
Wayne, I'm really impressed. Samsung is every generation introduces a new foldable. This year, they've introduced a wonderful new passport-sized foldable.
Right.
I think this is really going to be the star of the show this year, because this is an entirely new form factor for Samsung. What do you think of it? Well, actually, let's start at the beginning.
Because absolutely.
Things that Samsung has done is they've changed the names, haven't they?
Yes. So here's the very familiar Fold form factor. This is the Samsung Z Fold 8 Ultra. So they've added Ultra to kind of delineate between the two. So this is much the regular Z Fold 8 is now in the new form factor. It's much more of I call it a social media phone. And it's got this great 4:3 aspect ratio and a wider, like you said, passport-like form factor. And what stood out for me is this is great for two-handed typing. And it's a very youth-oriented, I think, design cue. It's more of, this is the perfect form factor for your Instagram. This is the perfect form factor for your TikToks and so forth. And of course, the more regular kind of petite, fashionable Flitz 8 is also available with a much larger front display and more UI improvements and tweaks. So that's the lineup of the new Fold. So why introduce the Fold now? And where exactly is Samsung in terms of their market position globally?
So Samsung is the leader in foldable devices right now. They started it. They have held the lead position as globally for making foldable smartphones. But this year is kind of interesting because we have another vendor, Apple,
Right.
that is going to introduce at the end of this year.
And
First foldable. So Samsung has taken the opportunity to create a new form factor, which you've introduced, this passport-sized device, to really help reach a new audience of consumers and really try to broaden their appeal before they have to face the Apple onslaught.
Right. Well, they are the preferred vendor to Apple for displays. So,
Samsung displays.
So who, which chicken or the egg, who came first? Apple's decision for a form factor, or?
I mean, we're just acknowledging that that's coming, but Apple probably shouldn't be the star of the show right now because it's Samsung.
Of course.
And why don't you take us through what are the technical changes they made, such as the new titanium?
Right. So the Samsung released a press release last week talking about their titanium film technology, which is essentially their best, the evolved design to eliminate creases. And creases has always been an issue with foldable phones. You have this ultra thin glass layer, but it's never quite flat when you unfold it. But the backing, it also creates, whether or not it creates divots, then you get this crease. But now with the titanium film, the strength for the titanium helps to keep the whole display planar and really minimize the crease.
So we've got a titanium film
on the backside.
And underneath that, there's also a titanium plate.
Yes.
And let's turn the power off on this, because one of the interesting things is, I don't know whether this will show up on the camera, but right here we can still see just the faintest crease.
Yeah.
But when you run your finger over it, you really can't feel it.
No.
That's a difference, and I think
right. And critically, when you're viewing this, you usually don't have glare. So you're not seeing much of it, especially if
And it's only visible really
Yes.
when it's in black, when it's
Yes.
turned off.
Yes, when it's turned off. So not when you're using it. So it should really improve the immersiveness of the experience.
Mhm.
And also, I think they taken some design cues and customer feedback to make this easier to open. They've created these bevels on the opening leading edge. So this is quite an interesting. This is the 8th generation of the Fold. So you would think Samsung's learned a thing or two.
Well, Samsung has spent however many years it is about 8 years.
Yeah.
Since the 2017 was the first foldable,
Right.
if I recall correctly. So
Right.
this is the 8th generation Fold. They are clearly the best. They've spent the most time developing this technology. And I think it really shows as we look at these three devices right now. It's kind of funny, we haven't talked about the Flip much at all, yet that is probably, has tradition, doing the old Star Trek community, the Flip there. But the Flip has traditionally been the best-selling form factor.
Mm-hmm.
But if in our own TechInsights forecast, we are projecting that this is going to be the year where we see the Fold become the best-selling form factor.
So speaking of that, I mean, we're seeing really good sales here in the US for the Flip. But globally, it seems like the Fold form factor seems to be attracting more consumers at globally. So
That's true.
yeah, talk
So you
to us about some of the.
you go to a place like China, and by the way, as much credit as we're giving to Samsung for developing the technology in these devices, this form factor was first developed by Chinese vendors. The wider display aspect display. This is now Samsung has added this to their portfolio. Interestingly, they're not a very big seller in China. This is for the global market overall.
Right.
And as you said earlier, this is going to be for the younger consumer, the one that engages more in social media, either consuming it or even creating it. This is going to be their preferred device. Whereas somebody like you, Wayne, I think you're going to be on with the Ultra.
Right. This is power user form factor. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's more mainstream. But I guess that explains a bit why Samsung's doing the Unpacked live in London. It seems like that was a key demographic there.
Absolutely. And I think it's nice that Samsung is expanding their reach. They're already strong in the United States.
Yeah.
They're strong in Western Europe, but this will only help them be stronger.
Great. Yeah, let's talk about pricing. We all know that component prices are a huge concern going into the second half of 2026. The retail price of these products relative to last year is only $100.
$100 more.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they didn't? Because we've seen a lot of price increases.
Right. Well, first of all, these are already premium devices. So their bill of materials, their BOM, is quite significant to begin with, so they can better absorb some of these component cost shocks.
Yeah.
But also, Samsung also makes memory. And they probably have a sixth sense as to when is a good time to purchase the memory contracts ahead of time. They're probably like airlines hedging their bets on fuel prices. They're getting ahead of that. They probably would want to mass produce as much as possible upfront before memory prices continue to go up.
So what you're saying is that we're seeing high production now of these devices, getting ahead of that price increase for memory, that they're going to be ready for the second half of this year.
Yeah, I think
for the holiday shopping season.
That's true. I mean, that's a bit of a guess from my end, but that would make sense from an operational perspective.
Since we're talking about money, one thing that Samsung brought up today in the media briefing is the new Samsung credit card.
Yes.
Now, it's kind of a me too, but you had an interesting insight in why they wanted to introduce that.
That's an interesting, so the Samsung's introduced this new credit card much along the ways that Apple had pioneered this service. And they partnered with Barclays on this credit card. But the interesting thing is the promotion that they're doing right now, which is if you spend $2,000 or more with the card in the first month, you get $200 back. So it's a very creative way for
interestingly, this is a $2,000 device.
Exactly, $2,100.
You buy this and automatically get $200 off.
Yes, and it more than compensates for the $100 premium. And this is a level of creativity that OEMs are going to have to rely on in the coming months.
In this current environment.
In this current environment, exactly.
Yeah.
And we've already seen emissions from other OEMs, namely Apple, saying that they have to increase price.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the more interesting solutions to that.
Sure.
Yeah. What else?
I think that, let me ask you, we've already decided I probably would buy this, even though I'm not a creator.
Yeah.
You say you're going to buy this. What's your daughter going to buy? What are you going to get her?
I think that this would be great for teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like feeding addiction. They're already addicted to the social media.
Get her away from it. They're more school bugs.
But I think what I admire about this new form factor is it's purpose built, right? It's form following function. This is power user, multiple windows going at once. PowerPoint, Words, Outlook. It's kind of productivity focused. This is quick. You pick this up, you type a message, you look through your Instagram feeds, you open up to look at a YouTube video, close it, move on. It's very very purpose built.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it at first, but I'm coming around to understanding why this form factor exists.
There we go. Great.
Thank you so much for joining us. Talk to you soon.